So I gotta go ahead and get ready to go to work in a few, but I had this thought in my head before I go. Obviously, first off, I used to do like one video a week, and I started doing more videos because I'm starting to get used to kind of just sort of uploading and things like that because it's really nothing for me to just make these videos. I just sit in front of the camera, yap for a little bit, go ahead and upload. That's it. Yap and upload. But like, is are y'all cool with me doing that? Would y'all rather me go back to doing one video a week? Because I can definitely do that. But I kind of want to, like I said, this is an interactive thing. I want us to kind of be on the same page here. Like, what do you want? What's the format that y'all prefer me doing? Would y'all rather me just do videos whenever I feel like it, or rather me just go back to doing one video a week? What's going on? With that being said, though, I kind of wanted to sort of touch up on another aspect of my channel that I don't think I actually brought up. Oh wow. I didn't bring up um, in my other video introducing people to my channel because like obviously there was obviously I do talk about my personal situations, and I do like to kind of talk about my social commentary, but also I forgot to mention that I'm a really big fan of fiction. I love fiction. I can't stress that enough. Fiction is definitely one of the more fun things that one of the more fun aspects of my life that I remember fondly. You know what I'm saying? And when I was younger, I used to be able to read a book. When I was younger, I used to be able to like read a novel in like a course of a week. Now it takes me a week to just read 10 pages, and I'm just like, it's because I blame work for the ADD sort of going in, because when you go to work, everything is fast. It's really fast. You got to pay attention to detail, but you also have to do everything really quickly, and it's very frustrating because I can't pay attention to detail and do things quickly at the same time. It's very frustrating for me. And it's like, do you want it done quick or do you want it done right? And it's like, we want it done both. And I was like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Then they would do it all quick and fast and stuff like that. And it's like, they would miss certain things. And it's like, you know what? I'll just do it like how you did it. And that's a whole other thing. In any case, though, I'm a big fan of fiction. And I love the idea of just sort of being able to create something from nothing. And, so I do also tend to at least try to do reviews dedicated to like things that I've read or things that I've seen and stuff like that. I'm currently reading like the current Flash story right now, and it's weird. And, I do want to kind of do a review about that. But I read comic books, I read like novels and things like that. And, I do like to talk about those things, but I do know that like editing is really good for those kind of things as well. The one of the big reasons why I actually do partake in fiction, though, is not just for entertainment purposes for me. It's mostly because I am a bit of a writer myself, or at least I'm trying to be a writer. I'm trying to write my own stuff, and I'm a terrible writer. I can't stress that enough. I am not a good writer. Don't say that you're a bad writer, man. Like, like, how you gonna say that you're a bad writer? I am. I am. I mean, it's not grammatical. It's not even grammatic stuff. As you can obviously tell from the way that I speak, obviously there's a lot of erasing and retyping. So I try to get the grammar correct. But first off, I don't write romance. That's a big thing. I'm not good. I'm not good at romance, so I'm not gonna write romance. I like to write what I know. I like to write what I think I know. I'll say it like that. But the big thing is that like I'm not gonna write romance. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my stories are kind of like it's basically like an exaggeration of the social commentary. So I do have like a lot of stories where like the overarching theme is bigotry is bad, or hoarding money is bad, or picking on people is bad, stuff like that. Or so a lot of my stories is going to have like an overarching method. I actually am working on a soap opera that is based off of a black dysfunctional family, and and they're rich, and you find out why they're rich, and what led up to them being rich, and what some people are willing to do to get that money. Is a lot of like twists and turns in that one that I actually am working on. I also am working on a story where a group of oppressive bigots try to take over a small town, and that small town fights back, and the small town fights back with everything that they have, and obviously they win. It's basically like a Haitian Revolution, Remember the Alamo, like 300 style story, where it's like you have this bigoted group of racist sociopaths, and they're trying to take over this small town that's just been under their radar for a long time. So they try to take it over, and it's like, oh snap, there's a reason why this small town hasn't been taken over yet, and stuff like that. And obviously, the bad guy loses, everybody's happy. Yeah, you probably think I just gave you the whole story, but I didn't. But I just gave you the tip of the iceberg on that one. But the whole idea though is that I don't write romance. I write a lot of stories where racism is bad, bigotry is bad. Overcoming the odds, even though there's a whole bunch of stuff, kind of like there's a wave against you, that sort of stuff. But and I don't expect it to actually become big. Like I want to write stories that offend the right people. That makes sense. With that being said, though, the big reason, but I do like to talk about fiction. I do like to talk about stories. I do like to talk about books that I've read and things like that. And it just always sort of like messes me up a little bit that this is, I get so bogged down by politics and my personal life that I forget that I'm still, a fiction based nerd, It's not just all, like, I will say this though. Another thing too is that like I want to do I review shows that I would have never watched if I wasn't interested in them, because as I said before, I'm not a good writer. So I only know how to write from one perspective, being a financially unstable black dude that lives in the confines of an oppressed regime that is trying to kill him. So I don't know what it's like to write from a rich white lady's perspective, or a black woman's perspective, or a trans person's perspective, or things like that. So I like to watch shows that kind of like, sort of like expand my perspective on how things are. It's like maybe we share similarities, maybe there's a whole lot of things that are different. So it's like I remember like I call this segment a trip to the blank blank to the dot 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 on my WordPress. Yes, I've been on the internet a long time, enough to have a WordPress. So I might have a link for that below or above somewhere. But that's one thing that I'm doing. Like I'm trying to, so like that's kind of one of the reasons why I find myself watching shows like Orange is the New Black and Wentworth and The L Word, and there was another one. I'm going to watch The Wire pretty soon. I want to watch Oz, but I don't want to watch Oz. But the whole idea though is that like I'm trying to see shows, or trying to see like how these other perspectives have been written, to kind of see if there's like a formula to follow in order to get an idea. I'm not stealing their ideas, by the way. I'm not trying to write like them, but I'm trying to see if there is a flow to how to do this, because one of my stories have multiple protagonists, and I don't know how to write multiple protagonists because I only know how to write as one person. I know how to write in the third person. I know how to write in the first person. That's it. But I don't know how to write in a way that exemplifies multiple people sort of experiencing the same thing at the same time. It's a challenge for me. So I'm partaking in, stories that have like multiple protagonists to get an idea of what goes on with them in that perspective. I want to write down. I also love the trope of heroes of another story, where there's a character who's a side character in one show but a main character in another. I love stuff like that. I love being like, to put this in perspective, the Power Rangers movie where Jason David Frank and oh my god, Amy Jo Johnson were like, they cameoed at the end, and it's like, if you're a fan of Power Rangers, that got you. It was beautiful. I love it when an actor reprises their role too. I love stuff like that. So but yeah though, because I am a writer, I'm not gonna say I'm a writer, but I'm trying to be a writer, and I am a bad writer. I I partake in fiction, and I do like to write. I do like to do reviews of certain shows. There's two shows in particular that I am watching right now that I'm absolutely in love with. They're both on Peacock because because Peacock is free. I'm poor, and there's and it's what is it? It's Found and Irrational. I'm loving these shows. I'm loving these shows. Found specifically because the twist in the first episode just got me so sucked in, man. But also I love Irrational because Irrational just feels like it's like if I was smart enough, that's what I would be doing. That's how I would be trying to go about this stuff. If I was smart enough, that's where I would be at. I would be that guy. With the exception of the burns, I mean. I would have the bells instead of the burns. I'll be like, well, this is an idea of how this goes. But wait, which side is it? Is it this side or this side? Yeah, it's this side. But the fact of the matter is though is that like I I am working on trying to expand my perspectives so I could be a better writer. Even though I know for a fact that because of how I write and because of what I intend on writing about, I don't expect success. I just want to see my stuff get finished and I want it to at least impact someone. Or I want it to just be a book that I wouldn't be afraid to look back on and read. I want to be able to read my old book and go, yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good. Ooh, I was cooking here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. Even though I know that there's gonna probably be people who's gonna be like, "Where's the sex?" or, like there's like something like that. So, but yeah, that's it though. I just know that I do also do creative based uh, content on here as well. It's not all public. It's not all personal news and social commentary. I love fiction. Also, if you have access to the DC app, I would definitely recommend reading up on Deadman. He's one of my favorites right now. He's cool. Also, something about hearing him talk in his Boston accent. I don't know how to speak Bostonian. I hope I got it right. Um, Also, fun fact: if you go into my older videos, you will. There's a reason why I try to do the voices and the accents and things like that. And the reason is simple: I want to be a voice actor. I like to think I do a pretty good job of being a voice actor. I am also practicing ventriloquism. Actually, no, you're not. You're terrible at this. I'm trying to. I'm working on it. It's very hard. You can't do it. He sucks, I know. Dude, I can see your lips moving. Right there. See that? Look, right there. It's a work in progress. You are bad at this! It's a work, yeah. I'm trying, darn it. Also, yeah, I'm old enough to have practiced a whole bunch of stuff. So just bear with me here. This is me trying to be a little bit more in depth as well as add on to a little bit of goofiness here. Thanks again for subscribing and everything like that. Wow, 1900, like that's 70 away from 2000. I'm expecting most of my subscribers to be trolls and they just like unsubscribe as soon as I get close to 2000 just so they can be like, you never get to 2000 and it'll be all because of me. And I'm just gonna be like, I don't care. I'm just glad that people are listening to me. It's like it could be two people. I could literally only have 2 subscribers on this thing, and I wouldn't care. I'd just be like, thank you to all 2 of my subscribers for listening to what I have to say. I appreciate it. It's not about influence as much as it's just about being heard. I've always wanted to be heard. Now I'm being heard. I'm happy that I'm being heard. But that's it. I gotta go ahead and get ready for work. Love and peace, and be cool to each other.